Hello and welcome back to MDG Media. We are continuing the coverage of the 2025 European Disc Golf Festival, otherwise known as the EDGF. This is round 3 front 9 FPO chase card coverage. Half the tournament is complete, maybe more if they're not making the cut, the top 64% of the field, I believe, getting there. I'm Connor Wood, and with me, Mr. Andrew Gum.
Yeah, we have another beautiful day, great weather. Scoring conditions are excellent, so there's going to be some hot scores out there. People looking to make moves, try to charge up the leaderboard for the major win.
And it's a major stage here, the amphitheater of the Tallinn Song Festival grounds. An amazing venue for disc golf and an amazing card. We kick it off here for Keiti Tätte joining us. Chase card had a great round 2.
Yeah, she's been playing super well. Nice to have the host country represented so strongly. We also have Silva Saarinen. If you watched MDG, you know who she is. Superstar, totally bona fide. Looking to get her first major win this week. That's a big goal of hers.
Another player coming into her own this season, top of the field. Kaidi Allsalu, always in contention and has every skill required. The backhand, the forehand, the putt, the confidence, the mental composure, everything really.
We have Valerie Mandujano as well from the United States, discraft player. Super smooth, got all the skills, very, very well rounded from San Antonio, Texas. Remember the Alamo.
Kick it off here on hole 1, par 5, 255 meters off the amphitheater. Elevated tee, you have OB lining the left and the right side. You ideally, most of the time, want to avoid a skip off one of these walking paths. Digging a green island will limit that potential for going left OB, but given that it's a par 5, you can really just chip away at safe distance each time. You don't need to bite off too much. You don't need to shape your shot. As a result, we'll often see 3 long hyzers and hopefully a 4th for birdie. We've seen historically Keiti getting a little bit more aggressive on the line than some other players. She does shape it a bit, and today she pays the price. We'll proceed to drop zone. Silva, I would expect a conservative shot here. Simply a 1-angle hyzer compared to Keiti, who has been trying to push the distance. Silva has been playing a shot just like this. She doesn't seem too pleased in the body language, but that's because it bleeds out. Just an uncommitted hyzer regarding the width.
Kaidi Allsalu, 3 down, 980 rated round on day 2 at the European Disc Golf Festival. How was it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. The putting wise, I putted very well today. My drives were a little shaky at first, but later the round I felt very confident and actually felt really good and made some really good shots, and I'm really happy with my round.
Great. Your performance put you up onto the chase card for moving day. Do you have any goals or expectations?
Yeah, my goal is not to be too nervous or shaky, so I have to work on that side. But yeah, the game plan stays the same. Just need to focus on my thing and only my thing, and do what I can do the best.
Here's Kaidi. Nice line here, looking good. Silva had made the same mistake we saw on the opening day and skipped out, and this catches that path, but checks up just in time there on the left side. Valerie Mandujano, first time playing in Estonia here at the European Disc Golf Festival. How has it been?
It's been good so far. Learning a lot of different things out here. I feel like it's a little bit different than playing in the US. I feel like out here the fans are just on another level. Disc golf's another level out here, sorry. So yeah, I'm soaking it all in.
So you're going to be on the chase card for moving day. What can we expect to see from you here on coverage?
I hope moving up to the leaderboard at least. If not, I hope just at least moving some steps up forward. I feel like this was not a part of my plan to move down, but it's all right. It's a part of disc golf, so I'm hoping to make it on lead card at least for round 4.
Is there anything you'd like to say to MDG fans or your people at home?
Hello everyone back home, and I want to thank all my fans for your support, because truly if it isn't for the fans I wouldn't be out here chasing my dream, so thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to have a new face on MDG coverage. Valerie testing that right side, should have the stability to come back. And it does, just in time.
Good luck to our card kicking off day 3. They will all need to shoot a solid round to remain in the upper half of the field if they're looking to play the 4th and final day. Keiti now getting out her safe distance from the drop zone. They are effectively playing 4 par now. We go to Silva. This one,
yeah.
surprised to see that move so far right, but completely fine, well safe. It's just that there's little to no motivation to risk that right side OB. You can play a pure hyzer. The extra distance does help, though, for the next shots.
Yeah, I was never really in danger, but no need to test that OB, as you said. So much space on the open left and center.
This is more the shot which you come to expect, but also could speak to Silva's mindset with the early OB, looking to save the par, trying to get as much distance as she can on the remaining shots, ensuring that the bogey is out of play, even with that OB. We go to Keiti now, her 3rd throw, but 4th stroke. The putt she finds here, about 9 meters uphill for the par save.
Silva going straight at it. Looking to get a skip up the hillside, and does just that. Nice C1 look now.
Valerie's 3rd. She has good progress up the slope, so now throwing almost laterally along it. Does not need to get as uphill as some of the other players. And a great shot there. Will be left with her tap in birdie. Hole 1, it's a great feeler of how your round is going to go, because if you just stay in the fairway, the birdie is really common. 37% of the field finding it here in round 3.
Yeah, and Valerie played at textbook Kaidi as well. Oh, Keiti with the uphill putt, hits the nubs and tickles some chains. Falls out of the basket though. Luckily doesn't roll away at least. Solid birdie from Kaidi to get started.
Silva does manage to save the par after the OB. I think that's a sign that this is quite a friendly course when you can make 1, sometimes even 2 mistakes on a hole and still save the par. Many consider this to have the feeling of a birdie or die course, in the sense that half or more of the holes are playing under par for the FPO field. You really want to attack on a lot of these holes and string together as many birdies as you can. We've seen some hot scores, and I think, Andrew, on this day 3 now, we'll see some of the hottest scores of the weekend. Players are getting comfortable, they've settled into the tournament, and we're kicking it off.
Yeah, especially with these conditions, it's very shreddable, nice and comfortable. We do have some pin placement changes though, as we see on hole 2 here. Par 3, 95 meters. Basket's going to be moved back a little bit. Scarier green now. Averaging over par for the day. Not too surprising given that really steep slope there that you're seeing the basket perched on. It can roll a long ways down there. You really want to shape one up and not overdo it, but don't leave yourself too short either, because the death putt will be very scary.
And it gets steep really quick. It goes effectively from a flat ground to almost 45 degrees in just a matter of centimeters, it feels like. And a pretty tricky situation there for Kaidi. Even not an easy layup. You have to make sure going down that hill you land your disc flat, because anything on edge brings in some additional risk laying up onto the sloped second basket placement. You see Valerie looking to shape the backhand now. Finding or looking for the late flip. Doesn't get it, but a friendly kick off the fence, bringing her back inbounds. Another position similar to Kaidi. You can't really realistically run that range.
Yeah, you kind of almost would be happy to be like, you know, a little bit outside the circle in that kind of a situation rather than be just a little inside the circle, because you might be tempted to run that putt, and that can be disastrous. Quite a diabolical green, as we said. Now, Silva's right in that range where she has to make a decision. Knowing her, I'm guessing she's going for it.
Keiti as well now, and it's really interesting. There's been some discussions around this hole and the basket placements on site that they're almost the same shot. A shot that would park the old pin placement would almost always be pretty reasonable for the second pin placement as well, because a lot of those shots that went pin high on the first would trickle down somewhere there. So the actual shot itself is not significantly different, but it's such a different mindset from the player's perspective to be playing on this dangerous green.
There you see it.
I think that one stays safe, curls up on the left side, and look at that view for Keiti. Such an awkward layup, Andrew.
Yeah. Really got to match the disc with the slope. Kind of like put the nose way down. Silva just banging it home for birdie. No fear at all about that hill slope. And there you see her running it down. That shows how steep that hill slope is.
Kaidi.
Oh, wide right. Does it check up? I believe so.
Something you see from right-handed putters occasionally. Great putt there from Valerie. Something you sometimes see on a right-to-left sloping green for the right-handed putter with a bit of hyzer angle is they go to more of a flat or anhyzer release to make sure if they miss on hyzer, they're not disappearing left down the hill. I think potentially what happened with Kaidi there, she doesn't put traditionally a huge amount of hyzer, but it can be in the minds of the players to deviate from their traditional or natural putting stroke given a very dangerous sloped green.
Oh no. Unforced error there. Short range putt. Skies past wide right. Now she's right back and just quickly lays it up. So kind of a disastrous start here for Kaidi.
Interesting that she didn't even take a second to consider running that one.
No.
Simply says, I am done here, moving on to the next hole.
Triple bogey. Just not feeling it on the green right here on the second hole.
And such an interesting fact that only 8 or 10 meters different pin placement completely changed the scoring statistics of hole 2. Silva only one of 3 birdies on the day.
Yeah, just such a treacherous green. It really does change things quite a bit there on that one.
Hole 3, however, remains the same. Par 3, 93 meters. You have to hit this gap. You have to manage both the width and the height fairly accurately. You have the low ceiling of the branches, the high floor of the hedge, the width between those first early trees. The gap to hit is necessary. You have OB lining the left and the right side, as well as a right to left sloping fairway and green. The forehand flex or hyzer flip plays the most naturally to the fairway's shape. A backhand straight shot can also get the job done, as we've seen from a lot of players, but if they overturn it, given that right to left slope, we've seen also a lot of cut rolls if they don't manage the understability appropriately.
Yeah, I mean, it effectively plays as like a quadruple Mando type situation. Not that you're penalized in any way for missing it, but it's forcing that shot shape just straight down the pipe. There's really no other way to attack this hole, I don't believe, unless you get really creative with some kind of like a wild forehand maybe on the left side. I haven't seen it, but.
Keiti pushes the ceiling nicely in a full flight there. Finds herself well into the circle. The applause from the crowd. Very well done. We go now to Kaidi. Went from a single birdie to a triple bogey. And a fortunate second kick there. If you hit those early trees out of bounds is very common. And for both Valerie and Kaidi to remain in bounds while missing the first gap off into the tree is very fortunate. But that stray limb really shutting her down.
this one can give you a hard time if you don't get off the tee clean, that's for sure. Pretty nice upshot there. Just a bit of work left, but we'll see if those struggles on the green continue here. Hopefully not. Valerie just outside the bullseye there.
Will be for bogey, however. Silva, the long birdie stab. Left with that short putt for par. We saw a very hot start from Silva in the previous round. Had one or two blow-up holes in the middle, but the beginning and end were strong. If she can smooth it out, that is great. And a smooth putt there from Kaidi. Fantastic par save at a critical moment to not take another bogey after that mishap on hole 2. That can go a long way in terms of the momentum, feeling like it's back on your side.
Yeah, great to see that bounce back. Confident stroke. Getting some fist pumps and feeling a lot better after that big time struggle on the last one. Nice birdie from Keiti, gets her back to even. Silva currently in outright first after coming into the round, tied for second, although she was at the top of the chase with the lower, I guess with the hot rounds coming in, leaving her off the lead card. So,
and we see the 2s, 3, and 4 represented there for our chase card.
Hey guys, quick break. We just dropped our brand new 2025 MDG Media Tour clothing collection, which is now available on our online shop. You will find fresh apparel and a full lineup of discs. If you like what we do, if you want to support the project, this is the best way. See you on the website and enjoy the video.
moving on to hole 4, it's a par 4, 160 meters. Has a different pin placement now, but the first shot is exactly the same. You just got to hit this gap, move a little bit from right to left, and then you have to deal with quite a few trees. But in this layout, you can see the basket quite clearly on the approach. It's just a little further, moves kind of slightly left to right at the very end, and less guarded by trees than the other pin placement, but a little bit longer distance.
Certainly, I think that this is a great change. It really does alter how players approach the second shot, and the landing zone, which is ideal for the first, also shifts a little bit. The more left you can get through the gap, the more of a straight look you can have into this second pin position. And I think that this is a welcome change now. After 36 holes, we get, most likely for these players, 36 more with some adaptations. 4 rounds on the same layout can be a lot, so traditionally at a major, they would play sometimes 2 courses. The way that they are managing that on this single ground is to alter some of the holes between 1 and 2 in rounds 3 and 4.
Yeah, they've done a stellar job with this course.
Great shot by Kaidi. We saw just prior to her shot, Keiti early left. You can filter through and get lucky, have an open swing on the backside, but if you're caught before the tree line and you miss the gap, it can be really punishing. Valerie as well, absolutely smoked. It's an interesting change because also you can just throw a very straight shot now on the second pin placement. What might traditionally on the previous pin placement pinch the angle, you can just sort of rip one through the gap, and almost anywhere is fairly forgiving.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes the tee shot give you more options, like as to where you want to land. And nice spike hyzer approach from Silva puts her right outside the bullseye ring. In good shape for another birdie. Keiti dealing with some low-hanging branches here in her stance. Has to get low, power a forehand up there, and now she's blocked off by some other trees on the right side.
Kaidi, this is that straight look which I was mentioning. This is an ideal place to be throwing your second shot from, minimal obstacles. And she's done well. She used the width available. She was a little bit on that right side, but got through clean, well into the circle, and fantastic distance control as well. Valerie's second, almost ringing it up. That is a smooth delivery. And hyzer, flat pan out at the end. Really nice, came in chain high.
Solid up shot there from Keiti. Oh, Kaidi with what looked like a really good putt from this angle anyway. Hangs in the chains for a moment and then falls out left side. As we see Valerie make good on her birdie. Back under par. And Silva moves to, well, stays at 8 under.
Caught up in that early tree line left. She does fight her way through, though. And I think that's a very strong part of Silva's game, which we don't often talk about, Andrew. She's very solid on the scramble. She very rarely finds too much damage, even with some errant shots, almost always securing the par. Hole 5. Par 3, 107 meters. This is a pretty traditional tunnel shot, but with a few additional elements. You have trees, of course, lining the left and right side along with the OB. Over this crest, the inbounds area then begins to widen as we move forwards down the fairway. You have the basket tucked away far on the right side, and beyond that, to the right of the green, is a pretty steep drop-off leading very quickly to OB. We see from a lot of players a slightly understable backhand shot. The most ideal backhand is a hyzer flip that doesn't really move left or right. Alternatively, if you're comfortable on the forehand, it also shapes naturally with a green that ends to the right. But I think from the top down, this looks like a straight to right ending shot, but it kind of tricks players into moving towards the danger zone. A straight shot like that from Valerie plays really well. You don't need to really end to the right if you don't want to.
That was perfect. Yeah, nice design change here from previous layouts. Definitely baits you into thinking you have to kind of try to park it to that pin, but that's what brings in that drop off on the right side, and there's OB down there. Not what you want to do. But we see it happen quite a lot. That was pretty good from Keiti. Just a little short.
And short can sometimes have a friendlier putt than pin high to the left, just because she won't be putting towards the downslope. Silva likely finding trouble there. The moment you get over that hill, there's almost nothing to stop your disc from sailing way down. And we see that OB stroke found for her. Kaidi threatening the same, unless she finds some late stability on the hill's edge.
No, pretty rare to get a result like that once you're over the crest of that hill, as you said. Not too much can save you. And they both overturned that. They'll be punished.
We see a great view of the OB line here. Just how far it is, or rather how close it is to the green. Simple pitch up for Kaidi will be a tap in bogey. We go to Keiti. She has a birdie chance here. It's a fairly safe putt to run. I'd like to see her give this a confident stab. She doesn't ultimately, but I can understand it. Hole 5 comes with a lot of danger, and seeing her card mates already, Silva and Kaidi, both take bogey at best. She knows a par will get her a stroke here.
Exactly. Excellent birdie there from Valerie. Tap in bogue from Silva. Quite a dejected Silva at this point. Moving on to hole 6, par 4, 185 meters, just over 600 feet. And you got to just go over this sound to echo chamber. Or you can go to the right or left side of it, I suppose. But that's kind of the main obstacle on this one, as well as the OB on the left that comes into play quite quickly. There is OB on the right side as well. Less common to find that. Quite a few trees in the fairway, big, old, beautiful, mature trees. And they guard this green very well, as you see the drone coming in. Got to deal with the ceiling and try to avoid all those trunks as you come in. Quite a nice par 4 here, averaging right around that.
Valerie now has put together 2 in a row, looking to make it 3 here on 6. That's a good shot. She opts for the right side hyzer. I'd say for the FPO field, that's the most common approach to getting around the central obstacle.
I think it's the safest way, yeah.
We see from some of the big arms going over the top with the power flex, but the additional height of a high shot brings the left OB so much more into play for the right-handed backhand that keeping it kind of low and very straight prevents that left OB from really ever coming into play with this line that you're seeing from, I believe, all 4 of our chase card competitors.
Yeah, I like the play. I mean, it's not a super long par 4 or anything. So you don't.
Oh, and Kaidi almost did find it, even playing that safe line. We saw from her more of a pure hyzer than the flip up that some of the others threw, but some distance is left now for Silva.
The fairway does slope kind of gently right to left, so that does explain some of those skips that end up testing that OB or finding it potentially.
And Silva smoked that one into the green, got the full flight. Keiti looking to replicate that, comes up just a little bit shorter, but still a very nice approach. Will do the job to have a birdie chance. Kaidi, full flex here. Can she find the late fade? She turns it over. Lands still turning. Circle 2 for her. Valerie, this is, I think, too high.
Yeah. See if she can fight through. She does. Quite luckily. Just inside the circle, I believe. Got away with that.
Kaidi for birdie. Opts for a little stepper. Unclear to me if that was simply a layup or a run. I would say because she stepped it, it's more often a run. But the height would indicate a layup.
Oh.
Speaking of running it.
Everything perfect about that one. Right on the money.
Silva's quick on the draw.
True.
The moment we get the camera on her, that putter is in the air and most often in the chains. Great to see another fantastic birdie there by Valerie as well.
Turkey time.
Maintains the box. Getting work done here now. At 8 under, matching Silva.
Yeah, and they're tied for second. Ella Hansen out there shredding it up today. Coming from one of the way back cards, I think it's 4th or 5th card. Doing work out there.
Good to see. If you watched round 2 FPO chase card, we saw Ella have a tough time.
We are here. We are one. We will fight. We will fall. We will prevail. From the fjords of Norway to the shores of Spain, from the fire of Iceland to the hope of Ukraine, 30 countries, one voice. Go Europe.
We continue to the most dangerous hole on the course. Par 4, 165 meters. Players must beat that initial Mando left here as the drone flies. You are then met with a high floor, low ceiling, left to right slope. So many things which are looking to abbreviate your disc's flight, keep you short. You then have to cross over into this island, ideally on your second shot, but anything that's not a perfect tee shot, you'll almost see a consistent layup because of the dangers here playing this year, that if you don't land in the island, if you don't stick it, you play again from the short side. You must land in the island. There's a peninsula of safety to the early right of the island.
Whoa.
And crazy bounce off the Mando structure there. That'll work. It's a nice spot. And you can sort of do like a half layup to the early right side of the island. It's not really within a short putting distance, but it's an easy way, let's say, to make sure you cross over into safety. Most often playing for par.
Yeah, Silva's been approaching it that way. But with her long-range putting, she can get the birdie, too. She's just trying to give herself a circle 2 look, and I like that if you got the range for it. Oh, another good tree kick for Keiti this time. Puts her way up there in a nice spot. Yeah, averaging almost a full stroke over par. As you mentioned, the hardest hole on the course. That island rule definitely causing a lot of damage out there.
And it's really interesting. What on paper is a fairly simple hole, a 165-meter par 4. These players throwing 80 to 100 meters, and then another 80 or 60-meter shot into an island green. What might be considered a simple par 4 really is not. And I think this is much of a skills challenge as it is a decision-making challenge. Players needing to manage their risk to perfection to avoid a pretty big number. And we see the safety of that right side early island played by Valerie.
Kaidi working that right side. Done very well. Silva sticking to the game plan. Heading over there as well. Nicely done. Excellent approach there from Keiti. Putting it right under the bucket. Silva was pretty far out. Outside of C2 even. Give it a jump putt approach and she'll have the easy par, which is great on this hole, really. You just don't want to kind of give it away.
Valerie slips away from her there. Just out the right side. Kaidi as well. Already a treacherous fairway. Dangerous sequence of throws. The putts now not connecting. And that can really hurt Andrew. One stroke is one stroke, regardless of how it happens.
Nice par from Keiti. I feel like Kaidi might be feeling some nerves here on the green. It seems like she's made a few good putts, which is nice, but it seems like there's something just a little bit uncomfortable for her.
And shout out to the only birdie on hole 7 of the day, Amanda Leonardson. Well done. Good job.
Great birdie to get. And this next one's a great birdie to get. It's a downhill, par 3, 105 meters, very tight gap. Double Mando here. OB lines pretty strict, keeping you honest down the pipe. And any tree kick can be a lot of danger. To find that OB, if you are able to navigate down straight through this pipe and get yourself a birdie look, you're feeling great. Averaging, nearly up around 4. So this one and 7, the hardest ones on the course. If you can get through these without any damage, you're laughing.
Silva with the early tree kick. Does remain inbounds. Really fortunate. That is super rare given the height and speed of her disc.
Look at this pipe job. That is so good.
So pure.
Wow.
Exactly the shot everybody hopes to throw on this hole. And it is way harder than it looks to do that.
She made that look so easy.
Oh, but look at this one, Andrew.
That one's drifting right. Kicks off a tree and stays safe. Also very good.
It's always so interesting to me to see player preferences. A lot of players here traditionally playing the hyzer flip. Valerie a couple times now has been playing a soft flex line, using the full width, going flat on the left and getting that nice S-shaped drift.
Kaidi piped it as well, so 3 of our chase card players doing very well on this one. Silva, incredible upshot to save her par. See if we can get some birdies here. Kaidi stepper, uncommitted, low left. Yeah, not really feeling too comfortable on the green still, it seems. Wow, Valerie sure is nailing that birdie. 3 under for the round.
That one felt personal, Andrew, after the miss on the previous hole.
Yeah, that was hearted.
Keiti for a birdie of her own.
Yes. 2 birdies on this one from a card is fantastic. So much tougher than you might think if you haven't played this hole. It's a tight gap with the downhill.
And Kaidi, that short putt to secure her par. Great to see. No bogeys here on hole 8. Most often the second most difficult hole on the course after 7. We proceed to hole 9, 105-meter par 3. You have an OB inlet directly here in this gap between the 2 layers of banners. Players will have a choice to make. Do they go for the green in 1? Do they lay up short or left and then cross in 2 and play for par? You see this willow tree hanging over the out of bounds. As a result, a lot of players will try to avoid it going around it to the right or beneath it. Those branches, if they slap you straight down, can quickly find trouble in the OB, and then you have to throw from the short side. This is a very polarizing hole in the sense that if you do cross inbounds, you're almost always within putting distance. If you don't cross inbounds, your par is gone. And Keiti Tätte, more than likely going to be taking the 2 with that amazing drive. And such perfectly crafted line. Looks like that tree was never in play.
Yeah. Valerie getting some turn on this one. Has the height to fade back. And it does, right just inside the circle.
Silva has also been playing more of a flex line here. This one, a pure hyzer shape. Is it enough?
Oh, it skips
Oh,
over
and
the
she jumps
banner.
it. I thought it wasn't enough, Andrew.
It-
She's been shaping it more in previous rounds.
Yeah.
That one looked like it didn't have enough juice, but just enough.
Very fortunate to skip over those banners.
We love to see it here. Come on. The
That-
struggles
yeah, never a
continue
chance.
for Kaidi, unfortunately. For her, this round has been all over up and down. And this shot as well has the potential to leave her at a tough distance now to save the bogey. She's once again up.
A little bit low left. Metal connection, but just a bit off on the green. Silva not off at all here. Nailing it in the heart again. Super solid putting today. Don't believe she's really missed one yet.
Valerie as well has been so good on the green.
Wow.
Except for that short miss on 7, which some would argue would go in half the time, if not more. It was a lot of chains, strong
yeah.
side. You know, not a perfect putt, but a reasonable one. She's been really solid, particularly from range. Great MDG debut from her here. As we see Silva, Keiti, and Valerie all tied now at 9 under,
Look at that.
closing out the round 3 front 9. What a race.
Yeah, quite many players at 9 down at the moment. Look at Valerie's scorecard, just that one par. Very entertaining. Silva and Keiti keeping it more clean, getting quite a few birdies of their own. Kaidi struggling, but yeah. What an exciting start to moving day here. Our chase card is looking really good.
Stacked field. The venue is set for that round 3. Only 9 holes until the cut now. Every single stroke is going to matter for lead card, chase card, for cut, for glory and honor here at one of the biggest stages, the first major ever held in Estonia. We're happy to be here. We're happy you are joining us here. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the shop, do all the good things to support us. And thank you as always. See us in the next one.